I have no idea what the music's wrong again. I need to get that fixed. But I will definitely do that. I have this urge now to do it like right now while I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I won't. Lord, I can't even. And I don't even think I changed the show title this week. I think it probably says something that is not right. Oh man, you guys. Um it's always something, right? I guess that's half the fun of this, which if you don't know what this is a live stream. Obviously, we're live. We sit around, we have a drink together, and we talk about just whatever we want to talk about. Sometimes it's local news in the drinking world. Sometimes it's bigger kind of industry stuff. Um, it's sometimes we just sit and talk about life and the chaos that it brings. Yes, Julia says, since it's not a show, is it ever really wrong? And I guess it's not, but it doesn't mean it doesn't drive me crazy. um so if you want to take part in the chat, you can do that wherever you are listening. Everybody will see it together. So although there's something I can't even read what that says. Give me just a second. I'm gonna make sure I'm not messing anything up here. So everybody feel free to chime in. Tell me what you're drinking, because a big part of what this is kind of like a virtual happy hour. We hang out and we have a drink together and enjoy each other's company. So again, feel free to chime in. All right, I think we are good to go there. I need a production assistant that just sits like right there and just runs everything so that I don't have to. Somebody that runs the mixer for me, somebody that runs the live stream, the cameras, all of that. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's see. John is drinking a Luna Lux. Sonder Voss and Sonder You Betcha for the wife tonight, says Lee. Julio's drinking an Enabler Lime from Verge. Oh, that's fun. I have never gotten to try any of Verge's their beer yet. All right. So I am going to dive into Jolly Pumpkin Oro. They have they've sent me some beer a couple times, and that's the quickest way to get me to drink a beer that you want me to drink is just to send it to me, and I will definitely crack it open at some point. So Oro, and I have a cheat sheet too that came with it. I always like that. It's a wild artisan golden ale. Spicy and peppery with a gentle hot bouquet. And the beguiling, as I spit all over the microphone, the beguiling influence of wild yeast. It's oak aged, can conditioned, 8% ABV. That's about it. Doesn't tell you much else. They have fairly recently started getting their beer into cans, which I think is fantastic. Cans, clearly at this point, we're all on the same page, right? That's the best way to get your beer. It's the best way to make space in your refrigerator. It's the best way to transport them, and so I'm all about it. I think it with a beer like this, it does kind of ruin some of the romanticism, I guess, around it. It feels more normal than maybe it did before. I don't know that that's a bad thing, but it is strange knowing the time and the effort and the science, I guess, that goes into making something like this versus just a normal beer. It still feels like it maybe should be in bottles. I don't know. I like it though. Let's see. Dennis is drinking the Scotsman Scotch Ale. Julia's worried about Marco. He's supposed to be drinking Truth. He has chimed in since then. Says hello. Oh, Cartridge is drinking their new Mexican lager. I'd like to get my hands on that too. Yeah. So Julia says she just did the tasting with Verge tonight, and they had cans of their beer to take home. They are trying to do like a crowdfunding, right? I guess that's the best way to put it. Kind of the same way that Esoteric did it. A crowdfunding is kind of you think Kickstarter and that kind of stuff. It's actually you can buy actual shares of the brewery. From my understanding, what they're doing, trying to help get themselves off the ground here. Derek says he agrees on cans, but his bottle cap collection is sad because of it. I agree with that. I gave up on the bottle cap collection. I had been collecting them since I was a wee young drinking lad, and had a big, giant container full of them that I was just waiting to try to figure out what exactly I was going to do with them eventually. And didn't quite have enough to do the entire bar top or a decent-sized table. Like, I could have done this table or something with them, but I just didn't have quite enough because I wanted them all to be different. And it is so difficult finding new bottle caps now, unless you purposely go out and hunt them or actually go buy bottle caps on eBay or something like that, which I'm not doing. So I just kind of gave up, I guess. I took the bottle caps and I made the lights that are in. So this is studio, obviously. This room over here is the bar, and the lights that are in the ceiling in there. I built these kind of panels, I guess, around them that are all bottle caps, and I almost all different. I did put in a big chunk of Little Kings ones because there is going to be some Little Kings things down here in the basement when it's all done. The lights above the bar are going to all be Little Kings bottles with green bottles with lights on it. I'll post pictures one day whenever I actually do it. Julia says, correct. It's the same company that Esoteric used for their crowdfunding, Wonder Fund. And they are still trying to say the very west side. Looking at the location on Glenway across from Elder High School, and another location on Del High Pike. Yeah, when I talked to him, which has been, God, it's probably upwards of 2 years now when I first sat down with them to kind of talk about what they were doing. They were talking about the location on Glenway. I didn't know with 2020 if all of that stuff kind of is still the case. Let me read more about Oro, see if there's anything on here before I dive into it. Okay, there's a little bit more on here. It says, Oro is a wild artisan golden ale brewed in the Franco-Belgian tradition of strong golden ales. Or, as this actually says, the tradition of strong golden sales. I think it's supposed to be ales. Spicy and peppery with a gentle hop bouquet, and there we go again, the beguiling influence of wild yeast. Now available in 4-pack 16-ounce cans. Oro in cans allows for it to become an everyday beer, an everyday celebration. Here's to the new year, a fresh start, never tasted so good. Yeah, so this has been sitting in my fridge for a little while, but so yeah, I guess they want it to be more normal, more everyday. They don't want it to be that kind of special beer that you have to have a special occasion to crack into. Kind of similar to the same idea with, Urban Artifact moving from those large format bottles for their Dino beers down to the 4-packs. Nice. Sean is drinking Take a Hike. That is Noctera's International Women's Day brew. There's a bunch of those out this year. It seems like it hasn't been that many years that I remember there would be like one brewery making a beer, and in honor of International Women's Day. And whereas now it is, there's probably maybe 8 of them that I've seen, just kind of around town that are being tapped. So that's fun. I need to get back up to Noctera one of these days. I love that place. All right, let me drink this beer real quick, and then we'll dive into our conversation. Oh man, Jolly Pumpkin. We got spoiled, I think, when I was kind of a new craft beer drinker. I definitely tried a bunch of Jolly Pumpkin because we could get it right on the shelf here at Jungle Gyms, and I just thought it was normal. And then you talk to other people in different parts of the country and how desperate they were to get their hands on it, and we get spoiled. Oh, so good. That big Brett fruitiness. Man, that's good. Love that beer. So thank you to Jolly Pumpkin for sending me some beers. They sent me a couple cans when they first started canning, and this one just showed up a couple months ago, just kind of unannounced. So I'm on some kind of good list with them. So there are a couple things that we could talk about tonight. First, I do want to, don't let me forget to run through all of the new labels, because I have 2 weeks worth, because we didn't do it last week. I have all the new labels geared up and ready to go. Brewdog is reopening their tap room here in Cincinnati. We have kind of the latest stuff I've been working on, 16 Lots Brewcast. We had my Braxton Vive Punch video. We could talk about that. We could talk about Vive Punch. We have, if you want to dig into some of like the kind of bigger news, industry news, Boulder Beer is rebranding and starting to get back out there via a contract brewing situation. We could talk about that, which may lead into kind of talking about Moreline a little bit, because I did sit down with Jay, one of that's a conversation too. One of the owners of Moreline, kind of about who they are now and who they are going forward as a contract brand that still has a lager house that is brewing and serving their beer. There's a lot to talk about there. We could talk about non-alcoholic beer. That's one of those conversations that I've been wanting to dive really deep into. I did get a can of Sam Adams, their Just the Haze. I was down at the tap room this last weekend, and Matt Stokes, if anybody knows Matt, sent me home with a can, knowing that I was curious about it. So I haven't tried it yet. I doubt that I'll get through this during the show to get into it, but I'm going to drink it one of these days. I don't know if I should try to grab a whole bunch of non-alcoholic beers and record a video or something, but yeah, so we could talk about Boulder, because I'm actually kind of excited about this. I don't know when or if we'll start seeing it again. I think they're going to kind of go slow getting it back out there. But they are getting it back out there. They're being so Boulder Beer, they were founded in 1979. If that gives you an idea kind of how this story of this brewery, how important they were to not just Colorado beer. They were the first craft brewer in Colorado, as far as I know. but just craft beer in general. They were one of the first craft breweries in the country. 1979, like that's mind blowing to me. That there are craft breweries that have been around that long. When you look at kind of the age of things happening here in Cincinnati, they were ahead of their time with a lot of stuff. They had hazed and infused, which was a hazy IPA before that was a thing. We're talking at least 10 years before it became a trend. So I mean, they were ahead of their time, but just petered out, I guess. The 2019, the end of 2019, maybe October, they announced that they were going to stop distribution, which would mean that we couldn't get it here anymore, but they still had their brew pub. Well, early 2020, so even before kind of COVID really started doing its thing, they announced that they were closing the brew pub, which was heartbreaking, I think, for a lot of people. But Sleeping Giant, which is a contract brewery out west somewhere, I don't know exactly where they're located, they contacted the owners of Boulder and said, we want to get these brands and we want to keep brewing them and keep them on shelves. We think there's value in the brand still, but we also love the brand. This is one of those brands that we started drinking and we think that it needs to still be around. So it's, yes, there's value in it, but it was I guess a selfish kind of, we love it and we want it to still be around thing, which I can appreciate. So they took over. They're calling it a partnership where they still are in constant contact with the owners, the former owners. I don't know how that arrangement really works, but they're still in constant contact with them and run pretty much all the big decisions by them to make sure they agree with it. They are in the midst of a massive rebranding that includes a bunch of new artwork. They are, actually I can pull it up for you here. They are using local artists, so local photographers out in Colorado to use their artwork on the cans. It's a lot cleaner. It's here, we'll show it to you here. Let's see. Pull it up. Let me pull the chat down. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of the new logo and everything. Here we can pull me up there. Bolder than ever. So this is the old look of Boulder. This was, I guess, the latest old look, I should say. There was definitely looks before this, but this was as they were kind of leaving shelves around town, what we saw. I actually think I may still have one can of Shake tucked away in the back of my fridge. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. The new look is this. So again, black and white artwork of Colorado from local photographers. Clean. I like it. I think it's nice. I'm actually really curious to get this on shelves around here again to see if it can stand up in today's market. There's Shake for you. That's it. Just a nice, clean, awesome rebrand. Hopefully that people can get behind. I'd definitely drink it, especially if I'm headed out west and I see it. I'm all about it. It's interesting to me how that story of moving into this contract situation, how much it parallels the I'm turning my chair so I'm a little more comfortable, guys. The current story of Moreline, which if you didn't see, I posted Sunday, maybe. I posted on Sunday kind of my thoughts on this whole Moreline rebrand situation. They have a new look to all of their cans. But in addition, they have all new beers, so it's not just a rebrand. It is a complete reimagining of, I guess, who Moreline is. They let me pull those up. They have instead of going kind of this Cincinnati theme to a lot of the names of the beers, or some of the names of the beers, they are going to Moreline himself and kind of his history as a blacksmith. And so all of the names have something to do with blacksmithing, and I don't know that much about blacksmithing to tell you the what some of them mean, but Bronzer is the brown ale, which I think was the best one, and it's also not a brown ale. It's a Dortmund, or not a Dortmund. I'm sorry, a German alt beer, but they're calling it a brown ale. Okay. Groove, the hazy IPA, I did not get to try. But if you tried Big Hazy, I think this is their answer to that. And I don't think I included that in the article, but they're making a big push also to kind of tell people, if you liked this old Moreline beer, this is the beer that is closest to that. I think some of them are pretty obvious, but they're trying to give people who were fans of something from the older Moreline kind of their inroad to the new stuff. Rivet, West Coast IPA. I mean, it's West Coast IPA. Nothing too surprising. Good beer. Smithy Helles Lager. Good traditional German Helles. Not as hoppy as a Pilsner. Kind of leans into the malt a little bit, but still nice and refreshing. And everybody has to have their light beer, I guess. Twist was also really surprising to me. On Periscope, was that Captain Stewart says that alt beer is just too German for Cincinnati. Even maybe it was a really good beer though, but that could be true. If you call it a German alt beer, people may not want to drink it. They may have something in their head. You may have to call it a brown. But my fear is that people are going to pick it up thinking it's a brown ale when it is not a brown ale. It's just way easier drinking, and it's good beer though. Super malty and like I said, really easy drinking. Twist surprised me a lot. I think I was expecting something similar to OTR, and it's nothing like OTR. It is a big citrusy, not big. It's a citrusy pale ale. It's fantastic. And then there's the variety pack. They are also doing so seasonals. They have I believe these are the core beers: Twist, Bronzer, and no, I don't. No, Smithy. I can't remember off the top of my head. They are doing mixed variety packs of 2 core beers and then 2 seasonal beers, so that you get a big kind of a big shift every time you go in and buy your variety pack. You can expect something different than maybe when you got it last time. So that's fun. I'm still very torn on the whole idea of moving Moreline to a contract brand. I think that it's going to be hard for people to kind of understand it, get behind it maybe. I don't know. I think the beer is great, and that should be enough for a lot of people, but I don't know that it is. I think that people are still expecting to have a home for their favorite brewery, I guess. I don't know. We'll definitely see though. The Lager House is still there. Lager House should be getting the new branding here in the next few weeks or so, I think he said. Um, you'll still be able to have a place to go grab a Moorline beer. Greg Hardman is no longer part of the day-to-day operations of Christian Moorline. I know the news was the big story of him getting fired, which is probably not the way the article should have been written, but it wasn't my article, so he is still an owner, and times change, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. But COVID and 2020 was rough on a lot of places. I don't know that you could have stopped this at all. Marco wants to know, will they have the tent for Oktoberfest, and will they have Das Boot? I don't know yet, and I don't know that they know yet. I can tell you that Moorline as a company is in rough shape, was in extremely rough shape. They've gotten themselves in a little bit better shape. They're still not in great shape, so I don't know. I guess it depends. And John says, I wish they would can 7. I agree with that. I mean, they did can it. I wish they would can it again. I love that beer. And Sangerfest, which is on tap right now at the Lager House. And that's the thing, too. A lot of those beers that you did enjoy from Moorline will still be tapped from time to time at the Lager House. You'll be able to find some of those traditional kind of, they're calling it the Lager House series, something like that. And they will still do stuff like that. Derek says that the Uberdrome, which is the tent at Oktoberfest at Moorline, was one of my favorite places to hang during Oktoberfest. 100%. Absolutely fantastic, especially now that Oktoberfest has shifted down to that part of the city. It is, I mean, you need it there. The city needs to put it in, honestly. The idea of Oktoberfest, of getting together. There we go, the Legend series there. That's right. Marco says maybe they should make seltzer. No, maybe they should not make seltzer. Everybody does not have to make their own seltzer. If people do, that's fine, but you don't have to in today's world. Just focus on making good beer and communicating that to drinkers, finding a way to tell them who you are and get the beer into their glass for the first time. That's what I think. Speaking of beers, maybe we should look at some beer labels. You think? I even threw a big beer label in here because it's brewed in Columbus. Let's see if you guys can guess what that is. So if you remember, or if you've paid attention, Budweiser has a nasty habit of rebranding Bud to all kinds of fun things to try to take advantage of their drinkers. And so they named it America for a while. It had special Ohio labels, all of that stuff. Well, how about Cincinnati Buds? Brewed in Columbus, Ohio, for Cincinnati. Tim, I'm drinking on a Jolly Pumpkin Oro. You can't see it. I'm holding it up. I've got labels on screen. I'm standing here holding it in front of the camera like an idiot. Here, let me pull my little... Here we go. There we go. Jolly Pumpkin Oro. So we got that one. That's, I wanted to show this one just because I think it's always fascinating to me to watch what they do. pot infused Budweiser. That is kind of what that seems like. Sean says, on behalf of Columbus, my apologies. It's okay. I bet you guys will get one too. Cincinnati Distilling. So this is your Sycamore Distilling, formerly March 1st, Fig Leaf, Woodburn, that family. This is their distilling side. A small batch vodka. I don't know, and I will definitely be reaching out to find out more about this. I don't know if this is going to become a rebrand of their Voltage vodka and bring it all under Cincinnati Distilling, which I like. It's interesting, but so vodka in itself is not that exciting, but this may kind of show some kind of exciting change for the distillery. Julia says that she holds Sean personally responsible for this one. Here is another Cincinnati Distilling. This is Code 4, a blueberry flavored whiskey. I'm curious to try it. They did the Fire Brigade, which is their cinnamon whiskey, and it's awesome. They did the honey whiskey. All of that stuff is delicious. I don't know that I've ever tried a blueberry flavored whiskey, but I definitely will. Tim, tell us some of the fun things that you tried while you were bottle sharing. 5 stories. This is Northern Rose Distillery side of things. This is their vanilla flavored vodka. Again, I don't get that exciting about it. Julia says the color and the lightning bolt would make sense for it to be a Voltage rebrand. I agree. There's a little lightning bolt up here at the top. I also don't know if your color is actually accurate. I'm looking up here at what you guys are seeing, and it looks like a really crazy teal color. That's not what's on my screen, so I might have something weird going on with HDMI color. This one's right, though. Who knows? Sean says, I can't wait for the shift beers where they just get wrecked on all of their new liquor options. That will be an interesting one. The episode might have to span like multiple days to actually get through an episode. Vanilla flavored vodka. I could care less about vodka, I'll be honest with you, especially flavored vodkas. Greg wants to know if anybody got over to Fibonacci for their beer garden reopening this weekend. And they got down to the Lager House for the Bachfest Volksmarkt and Brunts. Did get the Bachfest poster, and it's awesome. I love his posters. I did not get to Fibonacci for their reopening. I got out on Friday to a couple places and then didn't get back out over the weekend. Just spent some time with the family, but I will be getting to their beer garden. Not just to, welcome them back to being open again, but to see that baby goat. Marcos has text me. We can try blueberry whiskey. All right. All right. I'll move on. You guys have seen this one. I'm assuming it's already out on shelves. Amarillo by Morning. This is from Karakin. They're interesting because they just don't put that much out in cans as far as beer goes. So it was exciting to see another one out there. I haven't tried it yet. I'm sure it's great. Listerman, Cookies and Cream. Cat Snakes Rule Everything Around Me. Their collaboration with Barrel House. It's a Listerman pastry stout. Northern Row. So I'll pull up in a second how many labels they've had go through in the last few months, but they are cranking beer labels through. Haven't seen any talk of them coming out yet. I've sent a couple messages and didn't hear anything in return, so I don't know. But there's another one. This is their wit beer called Robber. At some point, we're going to start seeing these, and we're going to start seeing a bunch of them, I think, all at once. The draft beers aren't as exciting to me. Crumb Cake, coffee, lactose, vanilla from Rheingeist. However, it's going to be in packaging. So this is 12-ounce cans of that same beer. It says streusel you can sip. Additions of coffee, lactose, and vanilla make this dessert-inspired beer a supreme treat. Rich, creamy, and layered with flavor. Crumb cake is a no-bake, no-brainer. I need that. I also like the artwork. I like when they drift just a little bit outside of their normal look. Still, definitely, you can tell looking at this, it's a Rheingeist can, obviously, but I love that it's a little bit different. This is from their, not only from their sour series, the Outer Reaches. It is a collaboration beer with Blackberry Farm, called the Retta, a barrel-aged sour ale with lemon and ginger. I have not bought any of their sour beers lately, and I probably need to, or I'd probably have some in the cellar that I could crack into, but I need to do that. Sean says it's interesting that they say vanilla extract. Yeah, I mean, you're probably legally supposed to, right? If it's extract versus actual vanilla beans. I don't know. Another Cincinnati Taproom exclusive from Sam Adams. We haven't seen any of these yet, but they've cranked out quite a few labels for cans, and they are definitely coming. This one is Uber Juice, a juicy IPA. I'm stockpiling quite a few juicy, hazy IPAs for a video that I'm hopefully going to record this week. We're going to figure out the best juicy IPA in Cincinnati. With that being said, I don't have all of them, and I will not have all of them, and I don't want to have all of them, so I'll explain it in the video. Taft's Walk-Off Wheat. So I assume this is their baseball beer for this year, is my guess. I love the Mr. Red Taft. It's fantastic. Urban Artifact Double Centerpiece. They've been cranking through a bunch of their double Midwest Fruit Tart artwork, including one, well, you'll see it in a second, but double Centerpiece, got double Fire Iron. All of these have been released in previous years. This one, though, is completely different. I don't know why. I don't know if they're going to change all of them. I don't know why you would just get those other ones approved if you're about to change them. I also don't know that I like this. I like the actual artwork. I like the watercolors. I don't know. This is fine, but I don't like it as much. Double Kaleidoscope. I love that one. Double Paperweight. These are all so great. Double Polygraph. I think that's my favorite one out of all of them. I've learned that I think I really like cherry when it's used the right way. West Side Citra Pale Ale. A lot of these you guys aren't going to be surprised about. You've seen them. An English IPA. This one was a little bit surprising to me. Not a super popular style, but that is kind of West Side's thing, I guess. That's it. That is all that I have for you this week. I do want to pull up, before I forget here, if I can do it quick enough, all of those, what am I trying to say here? All of those labels from Northern Row, so you can really see how many they're cranking through. Give me just a second. I have a lot of crap to sort through here. I'm very organized, but I have a ton of crap for Northern Row. Actually, I don't have all of them in here yet, but okay. So got Hustler, Butcher, Banker, Barrister, Designer, Preacher, Wanker, Brewer, Defender, Keeper. Guess what those are themed for? They're both Kolsch's. Actually, they're probably the exact same beer. That's funny. Heckler, and then the last one. But so they have just really been cranking them through. We'll see them. Like I said, they're all just going to kind of start popping up at the same time. So that's your artwork for the week. I tell you what, it's there's always something. In addition to that artwork, we do have new branding for 16 lots, which I know hopefully most of you guys have heard that episode already. I sat down with Dell and talked kind of about not just 16 lots and the rebranding, but kind of about him and how he got into all of this and his story and all of that. But it was definitely about the branding and a new core beer, which is Dented Silo, a red ale. But then their other two cores are still the same, Soak City and the Major. If you haven't made it up there, they're slowly kind of making some easy changes in the tap room right now. Obviously, with the way the last year was, they're not dumping a ton of money into anything, but it's been fun watching them kind of evolve a little bit. Next week on the Brewcast, I'm sitting down at Dogberry. I haven't been there in a long time, and they've been through a lot in this last year, and I think it's going to be a good conversation. So hopefully you guys listen to that one next Monday. Vive, we could talk about Vive Punch for a minute. I made a video, which I loved the video. I think it was fun. But they were going to send me their marketing people sent me a little box of, it's actually still laying on the floor in here from when I made the video, of all four of the Vive Punch flavors. So I got to try all those, and they were good. I just don't get excited about seltzer. Sean says that barbecue chicken pizza with the Grippos is insane. I've never had that pizza, and after seeing the picture on the Cincinnati Craft Beer Club that Amy posted, I need to get back up there and try that pizza because it looks incredible. Or I need to try to make a Grippos pizza. I've never tried that. I do have some of the Grippos. You can buy like the seasoning, like the rub, I guess. And I've put that on all kinds of crap, and it's amazing. Julia says the Vive Punch video was great. Thank you. The YouTube channel is definitely picking up a little bit of steam. I'm still short of the subscribers I need to be able to give it an actual name. So in order to just do youtube.com/thengnarlygnome, you gotta hit a certain number of subscribers, and I'm not there yet. So tell all your friends to subscribe, or if you haven't subscribed already, even if you don't really use YouTube that much, just get on there and subscribe for me so that I can make it easier to send people to my YouTube page. Because I love making videos. They're stupid time consuming, not the That's funny. Oh man. Chris says that Little Miami Brewing also has 3-way chili pizza. That sounds awesome. What was I just? Oh, so videos like take way too much time, like way too much time to actually make. But I think they're so much more fun than other stuff. So yeah. if I can start finding more ways to I guess to show that it can become something more than just a time suck, I guess. We'll be able to do more fun stuff. I have so many things that I would like to do. Just can't justify it all the time. That about does it, guys. We are hitting, a little over 45 minutes, and hopefully my 4-year-old is in bed, but I have a sneaking suspicion that she is not, even though it's almost 10 o'clock. So I'm gonna go raise some hell and lay down the law. It's not even true. She was funny tonight. I have I don't know if I can pull them up easily. Let me see. Yeah, I can do it this way. Might not like that. I have a bunch of audio clips from when she was little. She came down here when I was first setting up the studio. Probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that. So I guess she wasn't that little, but noticeably different. And she sat down here and recorded a bunch of stuff with me. And I pulled out little clips from it. And so we were playing them together. And she was getting a kick out of hearing herself, as she called it, herself as a baby. I need to find places to use these, but let's see. This was her singing the Cracker Song. She's eating crackers and singing. It's probably not nearly as cute to everybody else as it is to me. And there's lots of little clips that I can use in the show.
Bye-bye.
And tell people bye.
Good.
Good.
Uh-huh.
This is how she says uh-huh. Well, she still kind of does a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
if you hear
Okay.
annoying sound clips in
Okay.
all of my shows now, it's just because I think they're cute. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up. Like I said, next week, Brewcast is Dogberry. Pay attention to who doesn't sing songs and eat crackers. Pay attention to Prost. There's a new one coming this week. I don't know what the beer will be. I don't know. It may be 16 lots, since I've got a bunch of their new stuff that I do want to kind of show off their branding and talk about it. But yeah, we'll see. I have a ton of things that we could drink on the show. My fridges are overflowing right now, so it will be a game time decision, as it always is. And hopefully, maybe, possibly, I'll get a vlog done this week where we figure out what the absolute best hazy, juicy IPA in Cincinnati is. But who knows? Just depends when I get some free time. It'll, again, be last minute game time if it actually can happen this week. Everything is. Thank you, guys. I'm not giving out my address. Even though my fridges are overflowing, I like to drink them. Thank you guys very much. If you don't already subscribe to all the stuff, subscribe to all the stuff and tell somebody about it. Patreon supporters, thank you very much. thegnarlygnome.com/support if you want to support on Patreon. I'm working on some stuff for that, I promise. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you next week.